We're here for the weekly Statchat podcast. The ChitChat is what we're calling it. And it's me, Josh, with BT on for today. How you going, BT?
Yeah, very well, mate. And yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. There's plenty of sports going on, which is great, keeping us busy, giving us plenty to talk about. Probably the most pressing thing from the past week in sports has been the NFL with the Super Bowl, obviously much spoken about, much watched. Your initial thoughts of the match, BT?
Oh, it's a pretty good game. Nice and close is what you want to see, and that's what exactly it was. A few big moments in there. It was just good.
Definitely.
Honestly, it was just good to not see like Mahomes or a Tom Brady in there, really. It was kind of good to see someone else.
Yeah, you didn't really have a team that you definitely didn't want to win for that reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
So close matchup. You got to be happy with the result. Came down to the wire. Do you think Rams were the better team on the day?
Well, honestly, if OBJ didn't get injured, I reckon it would have been a blowout.
Yeah.
He was on fire in that first half.
They were looking really ominous, weren't they?
Yeah. They couldn't stop both OBJ and Cooper Kupp. So once obviously OBJ went down, all the attention went to Kupp. And then towards the end, he still showed up, which he was on fire that last quarter.
Well, that's the thing. They doubled him pretty much the rest of as soon as OBJ went down, but it seemed like he got off the leash. I couldn't tell whether that was he was just too good and he was finding ways to make it happen, or if they just loosened up the coverage on him. But that last drive, or really the last quarter, you could see the only option that Stafford had was, I'm throwing it to Kupp, because nothing else was working. The running game just wasn't getting it done. The other receivers weren't able to get open. I can't even remember that second receiver's name. Was it like Scarborough or
something? Irrelevant.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, a worthy MVP, Cooper Kupp. That's who you had your tip on in our NFL preview game.
Mm-hmm.
What a season! What a season for Kupp.
Ridiculous. I think I'm definitely jump on the bandwagon now. I think he's one of my favourite players to watch. Even from the start of the season, with how he started as well. I watched quite a lot of Rams games this season, and I love watching him play. Because he's not obviously he's quick off. You have to be a freak athlete playing the NFL anyway. But compared to other players and whatnot, it's just his actual smarts of the game and route running is what makes him so much better than everyone else.
I love it. Obviously, everybody loves the athleticism and seeing the physical specimens who just have really fast 40 times, can jump from novel heights. But yeah, like you said, there's something about seeing a guy that's just he's a sucker for his craft, his technical route running, his nous of the game, his instinct with Matt Stafford. They've only been together for one off season, and they just had such good chemistry, knowing where he was going to go. If I see this coverage, this is what I'm going to do. That's one of the reasons why you love watching the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. But also the second half defense for the Rams, that they just stepped up. I think it was the last five drives for the Bengals was 50 yards total. The last 5.
Yeah, drives. They just went 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Yeah.
Punts. They just couldn't get anywhere.
No.
And there was two key moments in that second half, BT, that really momentum could have swung either way. The first was obviously the first play of the second half. You just had straight out of the gate, Burrow, bang, touchdown. Don't worry about the fact it was clearly a penalty for a face mask, but straight out of the gate, bang, get the touchdown. Very next play from scrimmage is an interception, and Burrow gets the ball back, and you're just thinking, wow, the whole game has changed dramatically. But, the Bengals couldn't capitalize. And then I think the other moment for me was when Aaron Donald just got that sack on Burrow, shoved him out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, all the Bengals guys came in trying to sort of flex a bit of muscle, give him a bit of a shove, which is, you got to stand up for your quarterback. But they awoke the beast.
They stuffed up. They should have just left him alone because he didn't do much at all in that first half. He was kind of irrelevant the first half, and then him and Cooper Cup changed that whole second half out of them two. And that was your pick was Donald for MVP. My pick was Cup. Steve's pick was Cup. I think we were pretty spot on with how the game was going to play out. Quarterbacks weren't going to have a huge impact on the game. It was going to be the players around them. And I think that's exactly how the game turned out.
The Stars were the ones that got it done. So, like we said, Cup, obviously a very worthy MVP winner. I think Donald leading that defense, had the 2 sacks, but he probably created another 3 or 4 just from his presence. He was phenomenal. And now there's rumours about him looking to retire.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's legit? And B, where does he rank? I mean, he has just got a phenomenal resume in only 8 seasons in the league.
Yeah, I think I can't see him retiring. I think that's all. I think him winning a Super Bowl, once all the hype dies down of him getting that ring and everything, he's going to want to come back out and win another one. Plus, he's still I think all the players voted him like the best player in the whole league. He's only 30. Yeah.
He's been a first team All-Pro 7 consecutive years. 3-time defensive MVP. I mean, he's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer straight off the bat.
Yeah. No
questions asked. Arguably the greatest defensive tackle in NFL history. So it's not as if he really has to do anything else to solidify his resume.
No.
It's just a matter of whether he's still got the hunger and whether he still wants to, cash in with a few extra millions before he retires.
I think he'll play again. So it'll be interesting to see how the Rams back it up. It'll actually be interesting to see how the Bengals back it up. Can Burrows do what he did this season? He's definitely got the talent.
Here's the stat for the Statchat podcast. The last 16 quarterbacks who lost their first time they played in the Super Bowl never made it back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
that's dating all the way back to the early 90s.
Well, that's not looking promising for Burrows.
That being said, he's very early in his career, BT.
Oh, second season? So, hopefully, I like him. I like his charisma. I like how he plays. He's just going to improve as well. How he, just as a second-year player, how he stands up for the big games and whatnot. I thought pressure was going to get to him a bit more, but maybe the last 5 minutes or so of the last quarter, he was a bit under pressure, but the Rams defense was up and about there. But if they can get a better offensive line to help protect him a little bit more, that would obviously help him. But hopefully he gets back in. I like him.
100%. I think you've nailed it there. The key is the offensive line. They've got a bit of cap space as well, so they should be able to bring in a couple of pieces plus, first round pick. You'd imagine it's going to go in that direction. But just back on Burrow and his future success, I think the big thing that you have to consider here is that the AFC is now an absolutely stacked division or conference, I should say, from a quarterback point of view, and it's going to be that way for the next 10 years. We have got the new dynasty of quarterbacks that are coming in. Obviously, Burrow's headlining that, but you're running through the list. Mahomes, Justin Herbert for my Chargers, he's going to be there for the next 10 plus years. Lamar Jackson won an MVP 3 years ago, and he's revolutionizing the position. I've probably missed a couple guys as well, but there are some, Josh Allen. He is a future MVP, and he's really taken the Bills' places. So you look at that conference. There's no guarantee that they're going to be back not even next year, but in the next 5 years. That's how deep it is.
That's what I worry about, because sometimes you get these teams, they make the big games, whatnot, then they drop off for quite a while. I'm just hoping. Everyone's a Bengals fan, let's be real. Everyone likes the Bengals, especially when there's a team like this.
That was a feel-good story.
Yeah. So, that's the big thing. It's how they back it up. And Burrow's definitely got the talent there. If they can get some good offensive liners, or because I think the rumor is OBJ did his ACL, so that's obviously
I don't know if that's been confirmed, but it certainly looked that way from on field.
Yeah, so if they need to bring in someone to replace him as well, because he's obviously not going to start next season. I don't know. It's hard to say, but like you said, that conference is stacked of these quarterbacks. But it was good. It was a good Super Bowl. I enjoyed the whole thing, especially the halftime show.
Yeah, I was about to go there. Pretty good performance. A lot of big stars. I think a lot of the prop bets that we were talking about hit as well.
Yeah.
Who was your MVP of the halftime show?
Oh, Big Snoop Dogg. Big Snoop Dogg. So one of the prop bets we went through was, you had Dre to be the first to perform. He was first on screen.
He was first on screen, but his voice wasn't first, was he?
No, it was Snoop.
Oh,
yeah.
It was good value at $5.50.
Yeah,
I've got to say.
Yeah, I reckon that's one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows I've seen. I think because the demographic for the Super Bowl is around your 25 to 40 age, and then obviously males mostly, you would say, and that's right in that era of those artists.
I think the demographic is really broad for the Super Bowl, because it's not just your hardcore fans. It's your casual fans as well, So a lot of people tuning in going, oh, look, there's Snoop. Oh, Eminem's jumped on the screen. Here we go.
And they're all
50 cents. 50 cents hanging on the ceiling. What's he doing there?
Made that surprise appearance. They're just big artists. And it's right up my alley. That's the type of music I listen to anyway. So I loved it. I actually loved it. I've watched it 3 more times after it on YouTube.
Gonna have to get it on the Spotify playlist, are you?
Yeah, I might have to. Yeah.
Here we go. No, I think it was good. You certainly would agree there, and good to keep the fans entertained. That's what we want to see. And realistically, the sport is all about the fans. Like we said, there are a lot of casual viewers that are watching the Super Bowl, and that's one thing they've done right. I think is trying to draw in the casual fan. Which a lot of the other sports really can take heed from. I think one of the sports that, realistically, I was not even a casual fan of, and now I'm heavily invested in, is the Formula One. And that realistically is, because of the Drive to Survive Netflix series, which I think they've just done a wonderful job of trying to draw the fans in, giving them content to watch and be engaging with. I mean, what do you think, BT? Is it something that a lot more sports need to really get involved with?
Oh, for sure. Well, I'd be absolute casual viewer of Formula One before that Netflix series started, and then I watched the first season of that. One mates at work told me about it, and same as you, that just got me hooked. And then I'll try and watch nearly every race I can now.
Yeah, they've absolutely nailed it. I think I read a stat that the viewership of Formula One in the sort of male 25 to 35 demographic, which is obviously their main demographic, has gone up like 400% since the series came out. I mean, that's just phenomenal. But I really enjoy it now. I try to watch every race, live, and get into the qualifying as well. It's certainly a growing sport, I think, for our demographic.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely got a lot more to learn still, though. But I don't know, it's just so exciting. Like, you barrack for drivers, your favourite drivers and stuff, to see if they can just get a podium or even finish top 6. If there's a driver who finishes outside top 10, so they can get points or whatnot, and they're up there in 5th or what with 10 laps to go, you're barracking for them to hold on. I don't know. It's just exciting.
And that's all because of the series. You wouldn't care otherwise, but you know more about the drivers, more about the teams and what they're trying to achieve. So, I think it's been a massive success for Formula One. New series is coming out in about a month's time, 14th of March, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be immediately after the test series. So the first test races for the Formula One is going to be sort of that weekend, I think the 10th of March, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. have you been keeping up much with the teams and the sort of new car designs and everything going on there?
No, not too much. I follow the McLaren because obviously Danny Rick fan, an
Danny
Australian
Rick.
from WA as well, Perth boy,
Yes.
and an Eagle supporter as well.
He's got good taste,
Yeah.
clearly.
I follow the McLaren YouTube channel. So they upload like the little videos of behind the scenes and stuff in the offices and all that. Him trying on his new equipment when he first joined the team. But other than that, I haven't really followed too much actually. Probably I will start now. It's ramping up. I think it's early April, the first race. I think. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. That'd give him a few weeks after the trials in mid-March and then straight back into it. So, yeah, no, that seems about right.
I think it's here, right? First race. In Melbourne.
I don't know if the Melbourne one's back on.
Yeah, I heard on the news today, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they're looking at redoing the whole track and everything.
Yeah, because typically it has been the first one off, but since COVID and the issues with coming in and out of Australia, I wasn't sure if they were going to go first or they were going to sort of wait to see if things changed a little bit. But certainly, if it's coming back, that's a good thing for Australian motorsport.
Well, they're expecting around. They were saying on the news around 120 to 140,000 over the weekend for that. So it'd be awesome to go to. I'd love to go to that.
Yeah, we don't really have anything like that in Perth.
Not yet. They're building that Formula One track.
Are they really? Are they up doing? Are they
doing
Barbagallo?
No, they're building a whole country club out in. I can't remember. It's not far from Perth. A whole brand new country club. It's like $100,000. This is, I'm guessing here. It's for the wealth, all for the wealthy people. But there's a Formula. They're building a Formula One track there as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard about this. Why haven't I heard about this?
Oh, because you don't live in Perth, mate. You live in the middle of nowhere.
That is true. There's nothing wrong with regional living, BT, all right? Get around it.
Yeah,
get decent enough internet.
It's it could be. There's certain membership options, but one of them was maybe like the cheapest, like $40,000 a year, something like that.
Yeah, okay, because we've all got that sort of money.
Yeah, just throw that out of membership for no reason, and it's sold out apparently already. So,
wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, we might have to investigate that a little bit more and see if we've got any rich friends hanging around that can help us out. That'd be certainly very good. One of the other sporting stories, I guess, of the past week that's reasonably significant for Australian sports fans is the cricket, the men's cricket team. They're currently having a T20 series against Sri Lanka, and things are going pretty well, as you'd kind of expect, I guess.
Well, Sri Lanka's kind of dropped off a little. They've, I think they've ran out. They haven't been able to pay their players. So a lot of their experienced top players, they haven't been able to renew their contracts. And so they're playing like to see a young team. It's good to see young players get a job. But I think it was the second game what went to the Super Over.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously good to see. We want a bit of excitement in our game. I think the other two were pretty well whitewashes, but good to see Sri Lanka getting close in that second match. And I think they'll probably go quite well in the last two, because Australia have just said, all right, we've won the series. We're going to rest all our big guns, give them a break before the Test series. So it should be a bit more of a youthful, inexperienced team for Australia. Do you know any of the main guys that they've brought in?
For Australia?
Yeah.
So they haven't confirmed it because I think the game's tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday night, so it'll be, Friday. Well, I was listening to the press conference with Finchy, and he was saying Zampa will come back in because he didn't play last game. And he said he's pretty much guaranteeing that Joe Richardson will come in. So I think Stark, Cummings, and Hazelwood are the ones who are missing. Yeah,
the big three fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Smith is not going to take any further
Smith
part.
as well. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think Travis Head's come over now. He's going to play the last couple of games.
Yeah. I honestly didn't even know he was on. I missed the first game, and I saw it pop up on my social media, and then I was like, oh, the cricket's still going. I thought the whole thing was finished. I thought they were off to Pakistan already.
This is probably one of the biggest issues with the free-to-air broadcasting at the moment is realistically we're getting home test matches, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, like you and I both have KO, which is a godsend for cricket fans and sports fans in general.
Yeah.
That's not a plug, by the way, but that's realistically the only way that you can keep up with what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, when did they even come out? That was what? How old's KO, you reckon? 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah, it'd have to be. I think I've been using it for the last couple of years.
I don't know what I used to watch before I had KO. I used to watch soccer on SBS. I don't think I've been on SBS since. Again,
this is not a plug, but if you are from KO and you would like to sponsor the show, hit us up. Let us know. Speaking of sponsors of the show and deals, BT, we got a bit of Statchat. We got a bit of Statchat news.
Yes,
in the last week.
Been in contact with the betting agency PlayUp, who they also own Draftstars, who I love playing. Love my fantasy, so that's the fantasy side of things.
You're a very successful Draftstars player, by the way. Just throw that in there. Give yourself a little bit of credit.
I did okay last season. Hopefully I can back it up this season as well. It'll be nice.
Well, I think you're being modest. I think you made the grand final of the Draftstars championship, and had it not been for COVID, you probably would have been flown over there for the final.
Yeah. Had all the accommodation and flights and everything paid for. Staying at Crown as well was going to be. But, yeah, that all got canned. Didn't go how I planned, the final. It didn't help that it was Essendon and Gold Coast, the game they chose. And then I had 2 injuries at halftime as well. So, but, no, it was good. Hopefully I do that same competition this season, and then I'll do that again. It's good fun. But, yeah, been in contact with PlayUp, and they've decided to put us on their program and whatnot and help sponsor us. So if you follow our links or scan our QR code and sign up to either PlayUp or Draftstars, that would help us a lot. And yeah, it's just good to have someone check out our social medias and all our content, and they obviously enjoyed what we're doing. So I enjoy it.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
They're enjoying it. So no, it's good.
No, look, we're happy to have them on board. And like BT said, if you're interested in that, feel free, check out the links, and it's going to help us out, which is really good. It's going to help us keep delivering you guys more and more content, which, that's our plan. We want to be here on the internet, giving you as much sports content as we possibly can, because we love talking sports, that's just what we like to do.
Yeah, exactly. We did before we started this. We did it anyway. We did it between us 4 anyway. So I thought, we'll put it out there.
Realistically, that's the thing. This is just a bunch of guys having a chat about sports. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why we like doing it. We know that that's what a lot of people around, not just Australia, but all around the world like doing, is catching up with mates and talking sports. And we're going to talk a bit of dribble here and there, a lot of dribble.
Yeah, a lot of dribble.
But hopefully we can entertain and be a little bit informative as well. I guess that's the plan on our end.
Yeah, exactly. No, and we enjoy it, so
absolutely. What we're going to try and do here, BT, is add a little bit of a weekly segment to the Statchat podcast, the ChitChat, and just try and run through a bit of a topic or a strange sort of obscure question, and hopefully get a bit of input from you guys watching along as well. But this week our topic comes from a news article I read about a man in America, a Connecticut man who not too long ago was searching through his basement, and he found a ticket stub that he had saved from the very first Michael Jordan NBA game, which is clearly a very valuable collector's item. And he'd sort of put it away, keeping it safe, thinking, somewhere down the track, this might be worth something. He's listed it on an online auction, currently sitting at a bid of $250,000 American dollars, and there's still a couple of weeks to go left in the auction. So, I mean, that sort of stuff is just awesome. You know what I mean? Like, just awesome sports memorabilia, BT.
Oh, could you imagine coming across that? Oh, that would be. Because I'm assuming he probably wouldn't have known how much value it would have had either, and then he would have looked it up and saw how much, and then obviously now he sees the bids of it. That's life-changing stuff right there.
Yeah. Do you keep any of your tickets? Like, if you go to a big game or a big sporting event, do you hold on to it?
I've got a few. So when I was lucky enough that my old man took me and my brother to India for the Cricket World Cup, I've got all my tickets for all the games there. We went to all the Australian games, to the final, the semi-finals and stuff.
How long ago was that? What year was that?
2011.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And you went to the final?
Yep. Yeah, we just traveled around India and Sri Lanka. So yeah, we were lucky to do that. So I've kept my tickets for that. I've got a ticket for when I went to the US and watched Kobe in his last season. When I watched him
that's a good one.
Versus Washington, I think it was, in Washington. He dropped 54, I think, that night. Yeah. The crowd was up and about. It was in Washington, but everyone was cheering for Kobe. So
nice.
Yeah, so I've got that ticket still. There's a few. I like to keep. I love my memorabilia stuff. I love sporting memorabilia. If I had the money, the amount of things I'd buy, like Jordan card. Oh, there's so many things.
You're a cards man. You're a big cards man, aren't you?
Yeah, especially the older school cards. A few of them are good. Like a Luka Doncic card or a Stephen Curry card, which is kind of modern type cards. They're pretty nice cards. If you can get in early on, if you think these guys are going to be a star, and start buying their rookie cards, so they're like their first year type cards. Yeah, that's where you can make the money. But with the modern stuff, it's hard because there's so much of it produced compared to like Michael Jordan era. There's obviously wasn't as much produced, so there's less rookie cards out there. And
such a length of time, you're going to see cards lose their value because they're not in good condition, or they're just thrown out, so there's less of them. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know I collected a few as a kid growing up. It was the AFL TeamCoach cards. Mm-hmm. They were the ones that I really wanted. You'd go to the servo, you'd pick up a packet, or you'd ask mum for $3 so you can go and buy a packet. And I can't remember where they are, but I've still got a few of those hanging around. And it was the wild cards. Oh, those wild cards. The wild cards are the ones that you wanted, and they'd be in terrible nick at the moment, so they wouldn't be worth anything. But I remember I had three wild cards. I had one of the original wild cards. This is about 2005, I think. Yeah, 2005, 2006. Mm-hmm. I had one of the original wild cards for Fraser Gehrig, the G Train. Yeah, because these were like the sketch, the cartoon. Yeah, I know. So I've got a couple. Yeah, they draw like the cartoon bobblehead of the players. So I had one of the Fraser Gehrigs, and then the next year I had two. I had one of Luke Hodge, and I had one of Brett Deledio. Oh, yeah. And he was just starting out with the Tigers as well. So I've got no idea where those are. I'd love to find them, but they obviously wouldn't be worth anything because you carry them around all the time and you're showing people and you put them in your backpack and I had the 2006 ones. I had a Krudifides and a James Hurd 2006 wild cards. Nice. I've got a story about that actually. The Krudifides one. It was my birthday, and the folks bought me a couple packs of footy cards because obviously you have the album, got all your cards in there, you flip through it. Yes. The mum and dad bought me a couple packs for that, and then my brother complained because he didn't have any packs. So mum gave him one of it was meant to be my pack for my birthday or Christmas, and he opens it, pulls out it's the Krudifides wild card. No. Yeah. So what did you do? Did you say, well, that's mine, I'm taking it?
Oh, I definitely complained. I guess it was just unlucky, wasn't it? But I've got
It's
that.
my birthday. It's my birthday. I get the pick of the cards.
Yeah, I remember that. Good times.
Oh, how good's that? Yeah. Well, look, if anyone out there who's watching this did any of that collecting as a kid, or they've got any, give us a brag. Just send us a photo in the comments. Show us what your best looking card is, particularly if it's those AFL TeamCoaches one, because that gives, I think that gives us a little bit of nostalgia just thinking back about those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, I miss collecting all those cards back then. It was good fun trying to fill up your album, try and get certain players. Then you trade them between your friends at school, and yeah, good times.
It was good times, but you can't do it now. You just look a bit weird just walking into the servo and just saying, "I'll take the lot, thanks."
Yeah. Well, only a couple of years ago, they put limits on how many you can buy, because I still buy a couple every now and then. They put limits on how many packs you can buy. The shops did, because people were buying old packs and then just reselling them for value. Because the card market went kind of nuts like 2 years ago or so. Prices just went up like 1,000%. So for certain cards, and well, I think maybe 5 years ago, Michael Jordan, like perfectly graded rookie card, was 30 odd grand, and now I think one just sold for 280,000 or so.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
that's a big industry. Industry at the moment.
It's massive. Yeah.
So we were talking about AFL. Now, if you have been keeping an eye on our social media and all of our channels, you might have noticed that we've been pumping out a lot of AFL content in the last week or so. So BT, this has been all part of our series of season previews for the AFL season coming up. Yeah.
It's about a month out, I think, as well. So we're going to be putting three teams out a week. They're going from who we think is going to finish bottom to who we think is going to finish top. I think we got. I won't say who the next one is. We'll wait. We'll wait till that pops up on everyone's feed so they can see who we've got next.
Yes. Yeah. I think the next few weeks there'll be a few where I'm not saying there'll be surprises, but there might be some fans of those teams who are going, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I think we're in for a good year.
Yeah.
And that's really what we want to see. This is realistically just the four of us here at Statchat's opinion of what we think is going to happen, who's going to do what. So we'd love to hear from the fans. We've been talking with different people on YouTube and some of the other formats about how they think their team's going to go, because you always have a different view set of your team, don't you? You're either super optimistic about the season that's coming up, or you're super pessimistic and going, we're terrible, we suck, we're going to have a terrible year. I don't think there's any in between, BT. You can't really sit on the fence when it's about your team.
No, exactly. You got to either suck it up and say your team's going to do terrible, or you have all this hope in the world. There's some people who know their team's going to be terrible, but they still act like their team's going to be near the top. Do you think there's a certain team, AFL team, of supporters that always overrate their team? Do you think there's one in particular, or do you think it's just everybody across the board? I think majority of teams, but the one I'm going to say though, and it hurts me to say it, but it's my beloved West Coast Eagles, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like, obviously, Eagles supported my whole life and whatnot, but I think some people are a bit optimistic sometimes. Obviously, a very successful club, but I think people think the clubs, obviously they won 2018, but I think people think, especially this season coming up, a bit more optimistic than what they should be. Yeah,
I think the club is historically had a lot of success, and the standard is always finals. So the expectation for Eagles fans is we're making finals this year. It is what it is. So I can see where you're going at with that. I think if I was going to come up with one of a group of supporters that will typically overrate their team, North Melbourne supporters.
Yeah.
North Melbourne supporters are a funny bunch, and if you are a North Melbourne supporter, I'd love to hear from you. But I think typically you're always very high on the team. But that being said, if you do check out our latest AFL review for North Melbourne, BT, you love North Melbourne this year. You are all over North Melbourne.
I'm all over North Melbourne. They're definitely my second favourite team this season, for sure, without a doubt.
I like it.
I
like it.
Like I said, yeah, make sure you check out the last video. All the information's there. Go and check that one out.
Yeah, no need to repeat yourself, but yeah, you're very, very big on North Melbourne.
Yeah.
But like you said, so schedule-wise for us, because if you've been watching a lot of our videos that we've been pumping out, it does seem a little bit sporadic, which it has been. But do you have, BT, a bit of a schedule that you'd like to share with everybody that we're sort of going to be keeping to over the next few weeks?
So we're going to be having the AFL team previews Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be posting those, I think. And then we've got TB and Steve, they'll be doing their Premier League ones. I think they'll be recording that on a Wednesday night. They'll be up ready to go for the weekend games. And then mostly we got me and myself and Josh here be doing the chit chat. And they'll be again posted. They're our three main ones. Obviously, if there's certain sporting events and whatnot, anything interesting happens, big news, we'll hop on and do whatever we can. But we'll be doing, AFL team previews. We'll be adding in some our fantasy insights. But yeah, at the moment for the next few weeks, stay tuned for the AFL team previews and the EPL podcast from the other two guys. They're the two main ones at the moment, and the chit chat from us. So
yeah, no, it's pretty much going to be our bread and butter. And obviously, once the AFL season starts, we'll be sort of shifting a little bit with our focus, and instead of doing previews, we'll be probably doing a general podcast once a week about the footy and talking a little bit about our AFL fantasy as well, and certainly some of the bets that you might want to make with PlayUp on board. So I think that's probably where it sits, BT.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Might add in a segment for Draftstars as well for people who are out there who like playing fantasy. We'll see how things go between now and the start of the season, and then we'll just play by ear. We're not real strict on a schedule. We're pretty chilled out here at Statchat, so we'll be doing our team previews, and then we'll see how things go. We'll bring something together. There's definitely going to be enough content.
For sure.
We could talk about this stuff every day if we really wanted to.
Well, at this rate, we probably are at the moment. I think we're just about jumping on every day and having a chat, that's what we want to be doing. And like we say in most of our videos, if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, any sports in particular that you're super passionate about, make sure you let us know. Let us know which teams you care about, what sport you like, and we can try and cover a bit more of that for you here on the channel. That's what we want to do. Yeah,
exactly. So stay tuned and just let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. Just let us know. We're happy to talk about any type of sport, anything.
Absolutely. All right, BT, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the Chit Chat podcast for this week. Same time next week, I guess.
Exact same time. You're going to see a lot more videos of us coming up, and especially with footy season only a month or so away. So stay tuned.
All right. No worries. Thanks, guys.